morning. I am very, very, very happy to be here with you guys today. It's a day that we have been planning for a long time. And on the behalf of the Friends of Schmeeckley Reserve, honored guests all who are here, thank you for being here. And we were wondering what to give Schmeeckley Reserve for a 40th birthday present. We weren't quite sure. And through serendipity, we decided that an amphitheater was the best gift for Schmeeckley Reserve for a 40th birthday. So thank you to all of you who have helped us come to the point where we were able to begin the project. I want to introduce two people. First of all, without whom none of this would be happening. One of them is Jim Buchholz, who is over here. The other is Pankowski, who is in the back with the camera. Stick your hand up. These are the two people that make the president of Friends of Schmeeckley Reserve, which is me, look like I know what I'm doing. So any of you who work with other humans who are smarter than you are understand what I'm saying. So my name is Jerry Lineberger. I am currently the president of the Friends of Schmeeckley Reserve. And the Friends group is 5 years old. And we feel like we're doing pretty well for a 5-year-old. We're very excited. This is our first major project for the Friends group. And we have had over 80 individuals contribute to this project, which is wonderful. From the very large donation down to the $10 donation from a former student employee of the Reserve. We are grateful for all the support that we get. So, with that being said, I want to introduce Jim Buchholz and have him come up and say a few words. Welcome, Jim.
Thank you, Jerry, and thank you all for joining us on this beautiful day. As Jerry mentioned, this year marks the 40th anniversary of Schmeeckley Reserve. Wow, what a way to celebrate. Today, we come together to witness the first of what we hope to be many Friends-sponsored projects that enhance Schmeeckley Reserve, UW-Stevens Point, and the greater central Wisconsin community. The amphitheater has been a dream of ours for many years, a place to learn and to be inspired about the natural wonders that surround us. It was a lofty dream, and it probably would have remained a dream as well if it wasn't for so many generous people and groups coming together at just the right time to make it a reality. People like Dallas and Edith Pankowski, who just wave there. Dallas and Edith understood our dream and provided the initial funding to really get the project off the ground. An organization like the Friends of Schmeeckley Reserve, which at only 5 years old decided to undertake a fundraising effort to raise $235,000 for this project. And I'm happy to announce that this week, the Friends actually did accomplish that goal. I'd also like to extend a very, very special thank you to Jerry Lineberger, our president of the Friends group. Jerry has worked tirelessly to make the Friends what it is today, and he's one of the main reasons that this amphitheater is actually occurring as well. Businesses like Century Insurance, and Lucas, are you here? Oh, there she is, okay, and Lucas from Century Insurance Foundation. Our neighbors to the north who are integral partners at the very beginning of Schmeeckley Reserve and continue to support Schmeeckley today with a very big donation to the amphitheater. Local companies like the Rettler Corporation, Ross and Rebecca, they worked with us from the beginning to create these beautiful designs that you see up here and to guide every step of the way through our process. Our community and campus partners like the City of Stevens Point, Mayor Ruiz is here with us today. UW-Stevens Point, of course, and the College of Natural Resources, Brian Sloss is here, Christine Thomas is here, the Dean of the College. And of course to all of you, our friends, our neighbors, our donors, our volunteers and students. We are awed at the outpouring of support from the community that we have seen for this project. This amphitheater really reflects the spirit of what created Schmeeckley Reserve 40 years ago. Passionate people coming together to create a beautiful outdoor space in the city of Stevens Point. I'm honored to be a part of this next chapter in Schmeeckley's history, and I thank you all for being such an integral part of Schmeekling's future. Here's to the next 40 years.
All right. And I would like to ask Dallas Pankowski to come up and say a few words. I understand he has a 3-hour speech prepared, but he's agreed to pare it down to about 2 minutes for us today. So please welcome Dallas.
Well, I hope you had a big breakfast, because it might be a long time for lunch. Sometimes great things can happen by accident. My wife and I, Edith, we're bike riders. We ride the Green Circle. The Green Circle goes through Schmickler Reserve, and that's about what we knew about it. But then by accident, the life classes at the university had a program in depth, and I learned more about what Schmickler Reserve really does. There's a great woodworking shop in the basement. The students carve beautiful handmade signs out of thick cedar. They do consulting work. They do all kinds of educational projects, both for the university and for the area schools. When I came home, I called up the reserve and I left a message for Jim. And I'm sure he was wondering, who is this character named Dallas, and what's he going to complain about? Well, Jim called me back, and we mentioned we were interested in helping the reserve. And a few months later, we met with Jim, Jerry, and Ron, and they told us about their plans for the Amphitheater. Right at that meeting, we knew we were interested, and we made a financial commitment. Well, then things developed, and we got a new plan, an even better plan, at a much, much higher price. So we made another commitment. This project will benefit both the university and the town. For me, that's 2 for 1. It's a project that will be regularly used. It's a great design. What could be better than this setting? But this doesn't happen alone. All of you here and all of our other supporters deserve credit. When you walk or bike through the reserve this fall, you can proudly say, I helped make this happen.
Thank you, Dallas. Introduce somebody next who I consider, even though I've known her a fairly short time, a very good friend. And she is certainly a friend of the reserve. So I would ask you to welcome Ann Lucas from Centennial Trim.
Good morning. I am so glad it is not raining. And we are outside to enjoy finally the reserve in a nice, non-humid, almost sunny day. So thank you for everybody. On behalf of Century Insurance, the Century Insurance Foundation, and all of the Century Associates, I'm really pleased to be able to be here today and to see the rest of the life blown into this project. When I first saw the project, Jerry didn't know me, I didn't know you, and I thought, I wonder what this meeting is going to be all about. And then we went off on our way. And I'm sure Jerry said, I wonder how that meeting went. And then we didn't hear anything for a long time. And then all of a sudden, I was doing my thing in the background, and we came to what is now today. I have to say, this is the best neighbor we've ever had, and we want to keep this neighbor this way, because I think our campus and this campus are wonderful neighbors. One of the things I was doing this morning is I was reading what I call love letters because I got my big mail packet of all the thank you letters from UW Stevens Point students who are here on scholarship. And I'm busy reading them and writing down all the different majors. And I've got to tell you how many times the natural resources came up, plant and whatnot, and I thought, what a beautiful day for all of this to come together. So I'd like to congratulate the Friends. You did a wonderful project with class and style. And as an old grant writer, I know what that means. So congratulations, Dallas and Edith. What a wonderful project. And we're really happy to be your partners in this. Thank you.
One of the really cool things about this project is that when it is complete, the Friends Group will donate the completed project to the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. So it's a great benefit that the project is done entirely with donations, no state tax money, and that the output of that project is that it is a gain for UW-Stevens Point. So I would like to introduce Brian Schloss. Schmeeckley Reserve is managed as a College of Natural Resources field station, and the college has been a strong supporter of the Amphitheater project. And representing the college today is Christine. Where's Christine? All right. Christine Thomas, who is the Dean of the college, and Brian Schloss, who is the Associate Dean for Outreach and Extension. And I will now introduce Brian, and he will talk about what they're doing.
Thank you all for coming out today to celebrate the groundbreaking of the Pankowski Friends Amphitheater. What a great turnout, and I agree, what a great day compared to the rain and humidity we've seen. I want to say a special thank you to Dallas and Pankowski for their generous founding gift that really initiated getting this from an idea to an actual project. When you add in the added generosity of Century and our other donors, this amphitheater will be a key addition to our Schmeeckley Reserve for years to come. To Jim, Megan, and the rest of your staff, congratulations on this wonderful achievement. Thank you for your guidance, vision, and partnership you've built with all of our donors and community. Jerry, Friends of Schmeeckley have been instrumental in completing this amphitheater. We are grateful, or starting, we're not quite done yet, but we are grateful for your collective dedication to Schmeeckley and willingness to spend your time and efforts, not to mention your passion and devotion, in continuing Schmeeckley Reserve's reputation and tradition as a nature oasis in our city and campus's north side. I have to confess, prior to becoming Associate Dean, these woods were known in my family as Mom's Woods, because this is where, when everything was too much in the house and the boys were spending way too much time looking at electronics, my wife would drag my two boys out here to walk the trails. And I have so many pictures of the backside of my boys with the trails out in front of them and looking to the future. And a few of them with a lot of mud on themselves through the lake. So it's really special to be here today to add to it in a professional sense. But I'm also willing to bet many of our Stevens Point community have similar stories as mine. And that Schmeeckley is just a standing testament to the campus's partnership for thriving communities. This is really what we could bring to this community, to central Wisconsin, and Stevens Point. Today's community cooperation is critical, not just for the idea of the amphitheater, because it's such a great way to kick off the 40th year of Schmeeckley. For the college and the university as a whole, Schmeeckley is our living laboratory. It's the place where we bring our students. It's a key element in our environmental ed and interpretation program. Field location for numerous classes, research studies, and it's readily accessible to all of our campus members, whether they need to learn, experience, or just get away from their smartphones. The presence of the amphitheater will help us integrate this even more than we already do. It will add to learning objectives and exciting new opportunities. In addition, we see more friends and new friends come and use this because it will be this really cool structure that will grow on this tradition of having something like this. It's great. It's gifts and development such as this that remind us of wonderful people in our community, both in Stevens Point and central Wisconsin, and our vibrant UWSP alumni community. Thanks to all of you who have had such a big part in this effort. Congratulations to all of you that have put so much work in this effort. We're fortunate to consider you all friends of Schmeeckley, the College of Natural Resources at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. Thank you.
All right. I would like to introduce somebody who you may or may not have heard of. Mayor Mike Wiesa is here. And Schmeeckley is a great resource to our community. And Mike is also a great resource to our community, as well as being a fabulous trivia player, as I understand. So I would like to introduce you to Mayor Mike Booth.
You see what he did there, right? You may not know him. In listening to the stories, it brings back my own memories. I grew up with Schmeeckley Reserve, and many of you here know me well enough to know that I have, some sort of infatuation, I suppose, with nature and the outdoors and conservation. And there wasn't a lot of that growing up on the north side, so I had to take the nature where I could get it. So I think we all have stories about how Schmeeckley Reserve has affected our lives. I didn't realize it's been 40 years since I've been coming here. I'm only 39, I think. But, I watched it progress. I watched how things evolve and the boardwalks when they got created and being able to explore out here. And I think a lot of people have those stories. One of the cool things, my father-in-law worked for the DNR. He was a forester and a game warden for a lot of years. And my wife told me stories about when she was little. They used to go on walks in the woods, and they lived up in Coleman, so there was plenty of that up there. And he would quiz her on the tree species or the plant species, and he would take her little bag of marbles with him. And if she didn't know it, if she didn't know the tree species, he'd throw a marble away. It sounds very cruel. But in the end, it made sense because now I know how she lost her marbles. No, he's a great guy. It's a good story. But that's part of the reason that me and my wife get along so well. We come out here, do the moonlight walks, and participate in all the activities when we can. I think everybody's got that story. That's what makes Schmeeckley Reserve such an asset to not just the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point, but the community. It is a community resource. You have university students that show up every year. They may be from larger cities and trees are almost foreign to them. This provides an opportunity for them to get out in Mother Nature's learning center, if you will. But parents of local residents who take their kids out here, and maybe it's the first time they saw a deer in the wild, or they're checking out the different species of mushrooms, which is kind of big right now, or just walking through peacefully to get away from that noise of the city. You can still hear it a little bit, but when you're here, it kind of transcends all of that. So it's extra special as that community resource. And this is also indicative of some of the things that make me most proud to live here in Stevens Point, is that when there's a need, someone's going to step forward and fill that need. We've got such a generous community. Every single asset that you see in our community has someone behind it who cared enough to step outside and contribute. In this case, Dallas and Edith and Century Insurance, and this whole list of donors shows the support that our community has for this area. And it's like that citywide. I know former Mayor Halverson is here. He can tell you that even in our parks and the city, a lot of the things that we have wouldn't be possible without the generosity of the community members who are interested in that, passionate about it, and support it. So you should all be very proud of yourself, because this is a monument, as it says, the Friends Amphitheater. And that's what we are, friends. Thank you very much.
All right. I want to introduce you to somebody who I did not know until a short time ago. But Ross Rettler has worked with the Rettler Corporation, and they are a local landscape design firm. And they have donated their time, their expertise, and their intellect to this project. So I would like to introduce you to Ross Rettler.
Thank you very much, Terry. The first thing I would like to do here today is commend the Friends Group on their vision for this facility. They truly, when they came to Rettler Corporation and we looked at this project back in April of 2017, they had a great vision for this project. And we greatly appreciate the opportunity to, it's been a pleasure to team with the Friends Group and the university as part of this great project. Just to summarize for you guys, Rettler Corporation is a local site design firm out of Stevens Point, Wisconsin. We're second generation, been working here for 30 years, and we take our local community projects very seriously, and we're very happy to be a part of it. At this time, I think it's very important to recognize two very important people as part of my team on this project. First off, Rebecca Ramirez. Rebecca is a very, very talented landscape architect with our firm. She's the horsepower and ingenuity and creativity behind this design. So Rebecca, thank you so much for all your help. The second designer I'd like to recognize is Paul Anderson with Alliance Architects. Alliance put together a beautiful plan, something different. Originally, when we looked at the amphitheater design, we had thrown out some options, but Paul came to the table with some really creative ideas that kind of brought it to the next level. So I'd like to celebrate Alliance Architects as well. Like I had mentioned, the timeline, we started this project back in April of 2017, working with Jim Buchholz. The project is scheduled to be completed in mid-December on the 15th. Last but not least, and most important, as part of delivering and constructing this project, I'd like to recognize Ellis Construction. Ellis is a third-generation contractor located here in Stevens Point. Their company is built on honesty, integrity, hard work, quality. Built right is their motto. Built right is what we will get. So thank you very much to the Ellis Construction team as part of this project as well. We'll leave you with our general theme and our general motto. We look very forward to seeing this vision become a reality. So thank you.
Thank you, Rob. All right. I would also like to thank the folks from Ellis Construction. They, through the bidding process, have given us a very large gift, which isn't listed anywhere on the donor board, but through their participation in the bidding process, they gave a great gift to the community and to the Friends of Schmeekley Reserve. So thank you to Ellis Construction. This is kind of weird, but I've been asked to recognize the donors, and there are people's names up there who have given money, and if you'll bear with me, I want to read off the list of donors. I'm not going to read off all 88, so you can be happy for that. But Dallas and Edith Pankowski donated $65,000 to this project as seed money for us to get started, so we are very appreciative of that. And the Century Insurance Foundation donated $50,000 to this project, so thank you. The board of the Friends of Schmeekley Reserve voted to contribute $10,000 from our meager little change fund that we have, being a 5-year-old group. But the Friends board voted to support this project with a $10,000 gift. So thank you to the Friends board. And of great personal satisfaction to me, Helen Bush, who is the wife of my former supervisor at the university, has made a $10,000 donation in honor of Bob Bush for this project. So I really, really, really want to thank Helen Bush for her contribution. Joe Jarabek, I don't know if Joe is here. Okay, Joe Jarabek stepped up. We had one challenge that if somebody would donate $5,000, somebody else would donate another $5,000. He said, well, I'll show you. I'm going to donate 10. So, Nancy Ross, who is here, has donated $10,000 in honor of her late husband, so thank you, Nancy. And I want to recognize the Community Foundation. We received a grant of $7,500 or $7,000 from the Community Foundation. Jack and Cindy Porter are here, and they have donated $6,000 to this project, so thank you very much. Tim Cashler, who is a member of our board and a former employee of Ray Speck, who was the original university planner on the campus back in the late 1800s. Tim came to campus, and Tim has donated $5,200 to this project, so thank you, Tim. And Mike Gross, who is a former employee of Schmeekley Reserve, was one who set up a $5,000 challenge. So, Mike, thank you. Right. Who is a member of our board and a neighbor immediately adjacent to the reserve, donated $5,000. And the Stevens Point Tourism grant of $5,000. The Aldo Leopold Society, Audubon Society, donated $5,000. The WPS Foundation, through the work of Megan, gave us a $5,000 grant. for this project. And other donors ranging from $10 up to many dollars donated a total of $29,198. So many hands make light work. This was something, I was somebody in high school who hated having to go out and sell cookies for band. I played drums in the band. I hated selling cookies. I am not a fundraiser, but this has been the honor of my life to do this. It's been the honor of my life to do this. This is a labor of love, and I love Schmeekley Reserve, and I very, very much appreciate the fact that you all have helped us get to this point. So, without further ado, let's go dig some dirt.
How are we doing?
I like it. How was it, Ross?
Did we put a foot on the shovel? All
right.
All right, let's go. Put a shovel full of dirt up, hold it.
Toss it gently toward us.
You know how to pose.
And then on 3, let's toss it a little ways, huh? Okay. 1, 2, 3.